Ethiopia's Prime Minister Abiy Ahmed met with members of the country's diaspora living in the United States over the weekend. Ethiopians living abroad send home about $4 billion a year in the form of remittances. However, relations between the diaspora and the Ethiopian government have been sour for years. CGTN's Girum Chala caught up with economist Zemedeneh Nigatu to discuss what is likely to happen after those meetings.
Investment decisions, money-related decisions, sometimes to a great extent are dependent on sentiment. When you feel positive, when you feel good, when you feel confident, you tend to do bigger deals, bigger decisions. And I think the remittance issue that you just raised over the last 2.5 years, I mean, we got to be honest as Ethiopians, you know, there was a lot of issues back home in Ethiopia, right? I mean, there was instability, and there was very wide division between the government and especially the diaspora here in the United States. So they may have held back, or if they sent money, it's probably through informal channels, depriving the formal financial sector the transfer of the capital or the money that was. So it did have, sentiment is a factor. I mean, I see it from big multinationals to individuals making household decisions, if you feel good. So there's no question, we can't discount the impact of the sort of the difficult relationship that the government and the diaspora.
With this created, good atmosphere, good vibe, good wind, what do you think is going to be the economic benefit that Ethiopia is going to get out of its people residing outside of the country?
As you said, the wind of change is evident. Okay, here in the United States, the diaspora community is very excited, but I think to sustain it, you need substance. And I've suggested a number of things. For example, simple things, little things. We are considered to be Ethiopians by birth, and we have been given every right under the proclamation that came out in 2001, 2002, that we can invest in any sector in Ethiopia except financial services. It makes no sense. But the first thing the government has to say, you know what, these people, they might have taken up foreign passports for a variety of reasons, but they are Ethiopians. So other than, for example, holding political office, we should be allowed to invest in Ethiopia in every sector. That would send a very powerful message. Also give incentives. A lot of Ethiopians, as I said, here in the United States, they have a lot of knowledge. They may not necessarily have a lot of financial capital, but they have knowledge capital. Give them incentives to move back to Ethiopia. For example, we have invested in, as an example, and others will give you, we have invested in a very large technology company in Ethiopia, which is run by Ethiopians, some by diaspora. Why don't we give, just like we do the industrial parks today, expatriates in industrial parks, in Awasa and other places, they don't pay personal income taxes, profit tax, on their salary, as long as they're within the industrial park. That's because they're manufacturing. Why can't we apply the same thing for knowledge-based businesses, engineers, technologists, doctors who come to Ethiopia? Let's say 2 to 3 years, give them tax incentives. So my point is, the feel-good that we have is fantastic. It's a good start, and I think it's gaining momentum. So what we want to do is use this opportunity, come up with policies, incentives for these people to go back home and share their knowledge, their know-how, and I think you'll see tremendous change. We've seen this in India. A lot of Indians from Silicon Valley going back to India and investing and setting up companies in Bangalore. I think we can have the same thing in Ethiopia. There's a lot of talent here in the United States in the Ethiopian diaspora.